Hey, welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise,
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
and we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Hey, Harry.
What is up?
How's it going?
Oh my goodness.
Man, look at us. Our purple and teal look really good together.
It's our
Yeah.
colors.
It is. It's our colors. We just need a pink something or other. Pink?
Yeah, we don't need. I like the teal and purple.
Bonnie's still in the living room.
That's all right.
So,
we are talking about episode 6 of the Acolyte. Here are your spoiler warnings now.
beep, beep, spoilers.
We got a lot to talk about.
And I mean, we're 6 episodes in, so if you guys have not watched this, please go watch the episode first and then come back and join us afterwards. There will be spoilers. This is the last time we're going to say it. This is your spoiler warning for episode 6.
Yeah. So we got Teach and
Teach
Corrupt.
and corrupt. Yep. Teach / corrupt. Something like that. Yes.
Teach.
There we
Man,
go.
So I've seen a lot of people go back and forth on either this was like a really boring episode or this is like a great like information episode.
Yeah.
And I think people were coming off of the high last week.
It was so exciting. There was so much action and so much
But
emotion and like bam in your face.
I'm glad this one is a slower pace episode because you don't want all that back to back.
No.
But we got.
And we do need story. We need exposition.
I'm saying this is a lot of story building in this episode, especially because now we're going into the final 2 episodes after this.
Yep.
So we need all this information to start coming together.
And this is the first full episode we get after they have swapped places.
Yes.
So we have May hanging out with Soul the whole time, and we have Oshi stalking Darth's teeth. Kamir, the stranger, whatever we want to call him. Oh, those arms.
Dude.
We have that happening.
That is 2 weeks in a row where I've had dreams about joining the dark side after watching that.
I mean, if they're gonna have ambassadors that look like Kamir,
But
I
it's
feel
not
like their
even just-
recruitment might rise a bit.
It's not even just the fact that yes, he is extremely good looking.
Oh, he's
Like
hot.
we're not gonna sugarcoat that. Like
Those
he
arms
is.
are like, damn. Boy never skips arm day.
But he's so like calm and collective,
Mm-hmm.
and he's so thoughtful with his words. He doesn't make it feel like he's trying to recruit you or trying to do. He's
Right.
just trying to be like, well, what do you think about that? Making you like,
Making you question and think
Yes.
and wonder. And he'll make these long pauses in between the things that he says. And I assume that is to pull out, it's a tactic to pull out information from whoever you're talking to.
well, also,
They think they have to like fill the silence, so they will fill in
oh,
information.
that's a good point. And I'm saying also like those pauses are so well put that it's right after something. There's like, oh, wait a minute. Wait, is he right? Like,
Right? Like, oh, I'm gonna think about that, and he's gonna stop
Yeah.
talking and let you think about
yeah,
it.
like he lets
Yep.
the moment stir, and that is like the whole show.
Mhm.
The whole show is like this. Like everything,
Oof.
you question everything.
Yeah.
And you make guesses, and they're always wrong. Not
the
always.
show keeps faking us out.
Not always wrong. Maybe like 75%
Yeah.
wrong. We got some of the things like we called out, but like you're just like, oh, I thought this was going to happen. Nope. That's
The exact opposite of what you thought was going to happen is actually the way the show's going.
it. Is just.
But I like that. It's fun.
That's one
you
of my
know?
favorites, and it's definitely hitting because I made a post about this on my TikTok and was like, this show after watching this episode just left me with more questions than I had going into it.
Mhm.
We didn't really get much answer from last week's questions.
Nope.
But that's what this whole show is, a mystery.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. That's what they're
Yeah,
categorizing it
who
as.
is this guy?
It's a
Where did he
mystery.
come from?
where is this story going? And now after
What
this,
is it that Soul and the other Jedi were hiding? What is it that we still don't know? Because we know it's big. I mean,
So, like,
Soul is getting seriously emotional.
so last week I said I don't think Soul and Camille are related.
Mhm.
I think it just happens to be a Camille is training May, Soul is training Oshi, but I think they might be connected somehow.
You think that maybe Soul might be the one who
Because
somehow betrayed Camille?
So possibly because
Kind of leaning that way.
because he talked about because Oshi was like, "Oh, you were a Jedi." He's like, "Long ago."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I never heard of you," and he's like, "A long time ago." Like he emphasized a long time ago, so it makes you wonder how old he is first.
Right. Yeah.
And could he have been a Padawan
At the same time?
before Oshi fell,
Oh, yeah, maybe.
or before he recruited Oshi?
Was he
fall?
one of
Did he fail?
one of the kids
did you
from
catch that on?
when she was like,
She's like, he
I
said, "What?"
failed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, so did she fail her trials?
Maybe.
Is that why
And he did too?
Yeah. So there's so many questions, and I have no idea where it's going.
What would that? He alludes to the fact that whoever betrayed him is the one who left the scar on his back, though.
No, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, because she says
Possibly.
something about like who did that to you, and he said, "Well, the one who threw me away." And she said, "Your Jedi Master," and he just looks at her.
So then,
So he's
could
implying that
could he have been Vernestra's Padawan? Because that scar looks like something from a whip.
Right? Because it's like,
Yep.
And if
it's
that's
not
the case,
and it's
what
not a-
would have caused her? What would have caused that? Like,
And that also, but the way she acted this episode, I think she knows more than we.
oh, she absolutely does. She's being so cagey and so like, oh, we got to keep everything hush hush and hidden and quiet and covered up. Like, she absolutely knows something, and I wonder if she is in on whatever the thing that Soul is also covering up.
Well,
I wonder if it's the same thing that they are both trying to keep.
I have no idea, and and it's so weird because knowing Vernestra from Phase 1 of the High Republic, Denise's High Republic reference.
There it is. Ding, ding.
She was just so like hopeful and fun. Like, yeah, she's
right.
very
So something
concerned,
major happened.
but like something has happened obviously in this like 100-year gap.
Mhm.
And like, yes, things happen. Just like with Ahsoka, people are like, "Oh, Ahsoka's not the fun, loving kid she was."
Right.
And
She's gone through war, man.
She's gone through things. So obviously, Vernestra has gone through things. Oh, pink.
Oh.
Ali.
Okay.
I think it's. I don't know.
Okay.
So obviously, she has gone through something. We know the whole
Yeah.
Starlight Beacon, the Nile, like stuff is going on now in Phase 3 that she's also a part of. But then they're also alluding to the whole politics side of things. Like
Mhm.
when she was talking to the senator, and the senator's out to get the Jedi, and
Yep.
she's like, gross, like so annoyed. So which makes me think that she's being even more secretive, which would then explain why she's being like this and not how we know her as. And so then it's like, well, what are
We've
they?
got 2 episodes to find out what it is, though.
What?
Like,
There's so much. My brain hurts.
and right, 2 episodes left,
Yes.
7 and 8, and
Yes.
somehow I bet the next episode is when we'll find out whatever it is that Soul has tied May down to
I
tell
don't
her.
think we're going to.
You don't?
I think we're going to find that out in the 8th episode.
Well, what the heck would he do with her for the next hour? Just be
Or
like,
the next
I'm gonna leave you. See you later.
The next episode could be a flashback episode. Or
Oh,
the
it
next
could be-
episode could be Vernestra trying to track down now
They're just gonna
Soul.
keep us
It
hanging.
could be the next episode with Camille and Oshi. Like,
I just noticed you.
I did.
Thank you.
But like,
Oh
there's
man,
so
but I
many.
want to know. What if they don't tell us? Like, what if they leave the season on a total cliffhanger?
They can't do that. I don't think they will. I just made my glasses all dirty. I don't think they're gonna leave us in a full cliffhanger like that because they don't know yet if it's gonna be renewed or not.
Oh, we
Well,
don't know
I
about
don't
a
know.
season 2. It hasn't been confirmed.
So there was a show. No, Andor was the one that automatically had a 2-season thing, and I thought there was talks of the Acolyte, but then, my glasses are so dirty now. I'm so worked up.
Okay, so this is something left over from the last episode, and it's so silly that it bothers me. But you notice how perfectly May chopped her hair to look like Oshi's with that lightsaber? Like all she did was
movie magic.
done. Perfect haircut.
Movie magic.
I want some movie magic. A word gets magic on my hair. Just perfect
I
haircut.
would never have to get a haircut.
I know, it'd be amazing.
I don't think they've said whether or not there's gonna be 1 or 2 seasons, but
well, they better either wrap this one up like completely or give us a second season.
I know that they have, from what I was reading, like 4 or 5 different seasons worth of stories.
Okay.
So I think it is going to be. Oh, it doesn't open.
No, it's just the one little square.
So I do think we are going to get a closed out. Do I think everything will be answered? No, but I think for the most part everything will. I think for sure we will know what's going on with Soul.
I need to Soul
I
is
think he's gonna be bad.
losing his grip.
I think he's
I
gonna
think
turn
so,
out
too.
being a bad guy, and he psyched us all out.
I am leaning that way because he is losing it. He's
losing that grip.
Yeah, he's totally losing that totally chill, that we kind of knew him for. And sorry,
There's so much alcohol on it.
Oh yeah, you need to use this t-shirt.
Denise isn't having issues with her
I know, I was distracted. I was like, what's happening?
Phil's gonna be a bad guy.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
losing it,
because he's breaking down. He's losing that cool that we've kind of come to know him for.
And I think that's because nothing is going how he planned. And I think that I have stuff in here.
Oh, okay.
I think had they not found May and May start
stuff would have
offing
kept
people,
being hidden, right?
I don't think anything would have ever popped up, and I think Soul would have been fine.
Yeah.
But now
something is snapping or changing in his brain because he's zoning out for long periods of time. He's sweaty, his face looks kind of sweaty and clammy and nervous and
at the end of that episode. And can we just say I'm so glad that Basil was Basil told Soul, but I also think Soul as they got off the planet and he was like, oh, go check on this. I think he was already starting to have the inkling that it wasn't Oshi and that it was May instead, and then working.
Oh my gosh.
Spits out.
That is my absolute that is my favorite scene in the entire show. He starts off and he's just like, yeah. Little moves. And she's just watching him. He runs up and attacks her leg. She gets spit in the eye with oil by Pitt. It was the best scene ever.
He totally at that point ran to go let.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was go tell Soul. And then you notice the way, especially the second time watching it, the way Soul grabbed her and hugged her was very aggressively. Not in a I'm so glad you're okay, I'm so sorry kind of way, but in a I'm not letting you get away kind of way. I know who this is.
Yeah, and and I also, like I said, I felt like he was baiting her when he was like, "Go, can you go check the ship or whatever?" Because Oshie was working maintenance at that time, and that would have been a good, clear indicator of is this Oshie or is this May? And
because if it's not Oshie, she wouldn't know what her job is.
I was so mad when he stuns her, she collapses. And then he puts her on the table and he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. And she's like, then why do you have me locked up? Because then you're going to try to kill me.
Right.
May, he's not stupid.
Yeah, and you're not either. Come on. You know exactly why he's got you locked up.
Because you're
going to try to kill him. You killed everybody else.
Whatever. I was going to sing out the whole song from the Hangover. That's really where my mind went. But he's not dumb. He's not going to let you But
No.
I was so mad. So we have commercials on our Disney Plus, and it went to a commercial after that, and I was like, they're not going to end the stupid episode like
Oh,
this.
I thought they were too.
And then
I
they
thought they
came
were too.
back.
Like, no.
And then they came back. They showed May with the helmet, whose vision sucks, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like the end of the episode. I was like, really? Really? We're not going to hear what? Like, this is like the third episode in a row now where we've got teased with Solace
And
going to
have
tell.
not gotten his story.
I'll let you know everything. He said that in episode 4 before they go off to try to find May.
We
He
didn't
said
get
that in episode 5, and he's like, I gotta tell you everything. And then now
We
here
didn't
we
get
are
it.
in episode 6.
Now,
I'm gonna tell
He's
you
like
everything.
aggressively now, though. He's like, and you're going to listen. Like, oh, who is this? Like, what are you about? I think he's gonna turn. Or I think he will have somehow already been. But yeah, but trying to like either suppress it or hide it really well. Just because his whole demeanor is different.
Yeah.
So different.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because he's losing it, but then our Sith.
Yep. Is calm and collected and very Thrawn-like, right?
Yeah, he's
okay,
so
Thrawn-like, but with a real major touch of psychopath.
Yeah.
You know, like the way he like cocks his head and just
like
stares is just like that. That's terrifying.
But
That's
he was
not
just
just
like,
calm.
why do you still call yourself a Jedi? Why do you live by these rules? Why and it's that whole he's like, and I think we both last week guessed that no, he's the apprentice, he's not the master.
Yeah.
No, he's the master.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think. And
he's the master, and he is reeling in Oshi to be his acolyte, to be his
then he
pupil, his
realized
student.
she didn't want the same thing. She wasn't driven by revenge. She was driven by wanting by her sister. And now that her sister's alive, she doesn't want to do this.
Right.
But then we have Oshi, who is driven by something else. Like we're starting, I think, to see more of a darkness in Oshi than we were in May.
That might just be like the realization, because she picked up that lightsaber, right? When she followed Kamir to the water. Ooh, that Kamir in the water scene. By the way, can we just take an appreciation moment for that scene?
I want to go swimming.
Right? He's like, if you're not gonna join me, I like to put on my clothes. I'm like, I'll join you. Let's go. Your clothes are not necessary, sir. Okay, but back to the show and away from Kamir's arms. So she follows him, right? And I have no idea what in her head made her think that he did not know she was behind him.
Yeah.
Because he came walking down that gravel hill behind her. Like, of course he saw her. And she saw the way he went after that whole group. She saw his power. Like, there's no way he didn't sense her or see her.
She's so dumb sometimes.
Right.
So, of the two sisters, I love May, but I hate Oshi.
Do you?
I cannot stand Oshi whatsoever. Like, she's just too, I think the character, just how it's played, is way too stiff for me.
Yeah.
And everything just feels so, like, wooden and, like, this, like, maybe, and that's probably what it's supposed to be, this whole wall.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to feel for her, where May definitely, like, you get more emotion.
Yeah.
And you get that rawness from May.
And I wonder, is that because she studied to be a Jedi, and they're very, very big on you don't display emotion. Hide all of your emotions, right? But May was like let go and allowed to feel. So maybe it's some of that.
Because Kamir talked about you're not closed off in the Force if you tap into these raw emotions, because Ochi did bring that up. She's like, you can't access the Force unless you practice it. And he's like, no, internally you can do this. And she's like, well, that's the way of the Sith or the dark side. And he's like, and?
Right.
Is that a bad thing?
He's like, there's another way. It's not just the one way.
And so I
am dying to know what happens. I full on think that Ochi is going to end up following Kamir. And I think that Soul is going to either turn bad or has been bad, or he's going to have just like this horrible, devastating secret.
Or May and Ochi come back together and kill them both.
Ooh. Them I
That
think
would
if it
make
came
sense.
back together and killed them both, that would have to. I would almost have to tie that Kimir and Soul were somehow connected, right? Because otherwise, what reason would they have to come together and kill both of them?
Kill or May and her grudge towards Soul,
Mm-hmm.
and then Oshi's grudge towards Khmer for teaching her sister the dark side.
But Oshi's already starting to question
She
and
couldn't.
think
So
about what
just
Kimir's
because
telling
you're
her.
questioning it doesn't mean you're going to do it. Look at Elzar Mann in the High Republic.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at Anakin before he fully falls.
I see Oshi. I definitely see Oshi switching though.
I don't. See, is that too obvious?
Khmer was too obvious, I thought, but here we are.
Then he turned out to be a psychopath.
Yeah, he's total psychopath.
I think
it is wild that we are 2 episodes away and it's like this much speculation. Like it's so hard to nail down. Like
nobody knows.
no.
Like,
and I like it. I think that, to use your word, I think it's really refreshing to not be able to predict exactly what's going to happen.
Which is in a lot of cases, that's everything in Star Wars.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. We know the formula. The formula
works. And like, if you look at the shows, like all the other shows, like Kenobi, we knew they both were going to survive and they were going to duke it out and move on. And
obviously, we know more of the story.
We knew Anakin was going to turn to the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars, we knew that they lost
just
the wars.
about to bring up Clone Wars. Yep. We know what happens there. We know that at the end of it, the clones turn and just
that in the show Rebels is leading up to the rebellion.
But now we're out of the Skywalker saga. We are so far away from the Skywalker saga that we can't predict it because we don't like intimately know the main players yet.
No, not at all. And this is the end of the golden era for the Jedi, and it's the beginning of the Jedi losing control, losing themselves.
Yeah, losing
Senate.
themselves to the Senate and becoming kind of they're just lackeys almost, for at least some of them for sure.
And you're definitely getting that. They're hiding things.
Yep. Starting to be like less free to go their own way and follow what they feel the Force guiding them to do.
They're hiding missions. Because we blatantly learned that Vernestra didn't tell anybody about this mission. They're like,
she's trying to keep it all secret.
She's like, yeah, I know.
I
he
sent
went
him
here. Let's go. Like,
gotta go get him. I put him there.
They were like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, all these. And I think she's part of this cover.
Oh, absolutely. She knows so much. And she seems shady. Like, not shady as in like a bad way, but shady as in like she's covering.
And
absolutely.
It sucks because she is a loved character in the High Republic books.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
And so it's a very
There's a thing though. Like, what is that thing that made
her?
They're
playing with fire, causing people to doubt Vanessa. Like that is a very dangerous game right there. And like people will riot if she becomes a bad guy. Like people are already saying
I don't think she's a bad guy. I don't see that, but she's massively hiding something. And I think whatever it is, it's got to do with Soul, and whatever Soul is also covering up. I don't know what it is, but I think it's got to be big and terrible.
What happened on the planet that May and Oshi were from is what caused Khmer to leave the Jedi.
Maybe.
And he was going to say something, and then he was betrayed by the people because he was going to turn them in.
Maybe.
That would make sense.
And the timeline would be right. He doesn't look like he's that much older than May and Oshi. And so, and that would put us in saying, like, if he was a Padawan of Souls.
Yeah, or even just.
Then he would have been there on the planet.
Been on the mission of some
Now I want to go back and watch and see if there's like a little, like a young boy or something in there with him.
I don't even necessarily, now just thinking of it that way, he doesn't even have to be a Padawan of any of them. He could have been a student that was close to Soul because Soul taught all the younglings, and he could have had that relationship that they fostered, and he was like,
just taken some on a training mission.
And then hearing this, he could have been like, I can't believe they did this, and he could have left, and then Vernestra could have used her lightsaber whip to like try to get him to come back as he's storming off in anger and hatred and all this towards the Jedi, which would then explain the thing on his back, and then that would explain how
He would have
Vanessa.
had to attack her, I think. I don't think Vanessa would have just
And
used a
he
whip to
could
try
have,
to get him
though.
back.
But he could have attacked
Think-
her in anger.
Right, and then she would have had to defend herself,
Yes.
and that definitely could have left that.
So
And that would
maybe-
explain why he's like, they threw me away. They, you know.
because I questioned them.
Mhm.
I questioned that. That makes sense.
Yep.
That
And
makes
we're
sense.
coming into that part of the Jedi where, like, it's like, don't question, don't
then
think about
that-
your own stuff, just do what we tell you.
That would then add on to even more guilt to Soul, because not only did all this happen with May and Oshi and the
He
planet,
knows who Kamir
now,
is and knew what
Kamir-
Vanessa did.
now he caused Kamir to turn or leave the Jedi Order.
Mhm.
And
And get wrapped up with May. And none of this would have happened.
But then wouldn't he have recognized them in episode 2 at the shop? Or could he just been so blinded by what was going on and distracted with May killing people that he didn't catch
Huh.
it?
I don't think he was so wrapped up and, just like
But he also didn't-
mind blown by that time. I think he
Jackie-
would have noticed.
Well, Jackie was the one that talked to Kamir.
Didn't they see him on
he
like a camera or something?
Some, but
I think at that point he was still level headed enough to have recognized him.
well, I don't know. It's 16 years later.
Didn't he recognize the girl stuff?
Well, he recognized May.
Oh, well,
because-
she stuck around longer though. She
Yeah,
stuck around for a
May-
while before she
yeah,
left.
because she.
Yeah.
So May left the Order 7 years prior to
Right.
current event.
Mhm.
So that's
So she
still-
would have still been grown enough that like
Yeah.
her features would have not been changing. But Kamir could have been like kind of a young boy the last time we
Yep.
saw him. Maybe.
and hair. People can look so different with hair changes.
Oh yeah,
Like, so
that's true.
he
So
could've
it's like
been-
hair, maybe facial hair, or
Yeah. we don't.
yeah. Man, I'm dying already for like next
I
Tuesday.
just, like, there's all these possibilities, and I just almost said this is his new favorite character now. He's moved on from Jordan, now it's Kamir.
Oh, same. Oh, and I'm right there with him this whole
He was
time.
like-
Yord was my favorite.
he's
Now
like,
Yord
I
is
want
dead.
his helmet. I want to dress up like him. This is so cool.
I really like Kamir. I
And
don't. Oshi kind of annoys me. May also kind of annoys me. I really like Soul because he's complicated.
Yeah.
I can't figure him out.
I can't figure him out, and it drives me bonkers.
Mhm.
Bonkers. Like,
As often as much as we're sitting here like, oh, it's so nice that we can't figure it out. It drives me crazy that I can't figure it out.
I know. And I'm just like, I can't even like. Why? I had some questions that I brought up in the chat, so I'm gonna.
Ooh, I have not checked the chat today. I have been. Holy wow! The last 2 weeks have been like insanely busy for me.
Where did I put it? Oh no, we talked about that. Talked about that. I went off on like all these tangents. I was like who did he train under? What caused the thing to happen?
Also, that I want to know who he trained under. Like, where did Kamir come from after? Like, if he was a Jedi, okay, what
Oh.
between Jedi and now? What did he do? Where was he? Who was he with?
How did he learn about all the dark side stuff?
Mm-hmm.
and
Where did he find
tapping
it?
So is there another, like, I know people have been throwing around like
The Plagueis,
Plagueis and his master,
Plagueis or Plagueis? I think it's Plagueis.
because he's the one that trained Palpatine, right?
Yeah.
They've thrown around him. They're also throwing around his master too, as
Who
I
was-
can't remember. It's I can't remember, but this was one of the things that got me. All right, Vernestra. They said so. They went to go travel.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You get sick traveling in
Oh,
hyperspace,"
yeah.
and she's like, "I don't get sick. It's unsettling."
I find it unsettling. Yeah.
At first, I was very angry that it was worded that way, because in the books, she gets vision while flying in hyperspace,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really cool tie-in to Taka, the prisoner that Marshawn Rowe had.
Oh,
Using-
her name started with an M.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who could see the paths.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Um,
Vernestra also like taps into that to
This
see
hyperspace.
vision.
And I was
Really,
just like, but it's not unsettling. But I guess it is unsettling because it just kind of takes over her.
right.
And I was like, that's such a weird way to
Well,
describe
she may
it.
not have told them. She may not want them
Because
to
she
know.
also didn't tell him in the first phase, remember? She
Mm-mm.
was just like, this is my own thing. She doesn't want to let
So she
people.
probably didn't tell the people around her either because she's just trying to suppress it.
Because when she figured out what it was, the force with the hyperspace, she also was just starting to dabble with the lightsaber whip. And the
Right.
lightsaber whip is typically a Sith weapon. And she didn't want to bring up too many red flags with
Yeah.
the visions and
So
the
it's probably
lightsaber
something that
whip.
she still has kept under wraps, and so maybe it's like, oh, it makes me not feel well, or it makes me feel unsettled, is all that she's
Makes you
told
wonder
them.
how much she just ate on Coruscant.
Oh, yeah. To avoid like having
Because
the visions.
he was like, this guy was super surprised that she was going to go.
So she probably doesn't leave very often.
Probably not, which is probably why she's maybe a delegate with a correspondent with the senators. Because she spends so much time there on the planet.
Right. She understands them.
But
She understands how the city works.
She
how
was
the
also
Senate
very
works.
diplomatic too in the books.
Yeah.
Um,
So she would be a good go-between. And do you think? I mean, would she just be staying there to try to suppress the visions? Just, I don't want to know. I don't want to have them. So I'm gonna try to not have them.
possibly. Because last that I read, she doesn't know how to tame it.
Mm-mm.
Or not tame it, control
Like
it.
control it, yeah,
Control
keep
is
it,
the
like-
better word.
yeah.
Like,
They
it's
just
so
kind of
sporadic.
drown her. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't want to fly if that's going on too, if I can't. Maybe she should wear the helmet that Kamir wears.
Oh,
That-
right.
The sensory
Deprivation
deprivation
helmet. Yep.
So that way she's not tapping into it.
And that was wild watching. Oh, she put it on at the end. The breathing was just such that Vader breathing. You know, it's like,
That's the breathing you have when you do wear a helmet, though.
I know, but it's like they shut it completely dark, and then all you hear is that breathing, and it's
the little
such a
sliver of
callback.
light,
You know,
little
teeny tiny, and it's
Which-
like, is that symbolism? Is that like symbolic of the darkness swallowing up the light that is in her?
possibly, but you gotta also. So Kamir wears this while fighting.
Mm-hmm.
He literally cannot see.
He
Like,
says
that
it's just
just-
you and the Force.
That just tells you how in tune this dude is with the Force. Like,
Yeah.
it is unbelievable how at one with the Force he is.
Yeah.
Good, bad, it is just he
He-
is there,
He's
and
very strong, and he's, like you said, he's very in tune, so you would have to imagine he would be a heck of a person to learn from
you know what that made me think of?
if he didn't kill you.
When they train with the training bot and they shoot the little blasters and they
Oh, yeah.
lightsaber
Uh-huh.
training.
Yep. Like, it's a blindfold, right? Is it
It's
like
a blacked
or a
out,
bandana or something.
blacked out helmet.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it totally just made me think of that. I was like, oh,
But that makes sense
And-
because it teaches you to rely on
the Force.
just your sense of the Force. Oh, I want to know everything. I want Tuesday to be here already.
I want to know more about all of it. Did you see that also Star Wars today released or Teach Corrupt Trivia? The Sakura are described as part anteater, part duck. The little creatures.
Oh, they're so cute.
Oh,
You see the way they were like nuzzling?
they look like rocks too, so they could be.
They do look like little rocks. That's probably their camouflage to help them, like. Well, we'll find a picture of them and we'll put it right here. Right here.
StarWars.com on the episode highlights.
Okay, StarWars.com. Note to Rex.
But
Picture here.
it totally looks like an anteater,
They're super cute.
duck. They look
And there's
like
like the little baby. They kind of look
The
like a
baby was really-
dinosaur too.
the
That
baby
like
was really
pterodactyl head.
cute. So Owen was watching it and he was like, "Oh, it's so cute." And then he came out. We see the mama and the baby, and he's like, "Ugh, they're ugly."
Oh,
He's like, "The babies are cute. The adults are not."
oh, I think they're all really cute. Maybe a little so ugly. It's cute, you know.
When somebody lose them, what? I remember what I was going to bring and I forgot.
What?
My last shot book.
Oh, that's all right.
Anyway,
That's okay. We don't have to have the books back then.
I So we are gonna have to get off here soon. So
Yeah, we gotta.
predictions for next week.
Oh, I think. I don't know if it's gonna be next weekend. I think that Soul is going to have either be bad or have been, bad and has been like covering it up, or just have like this atrocious secret. Um, I think that we're gonna see some more darkness from Oshi. Um,
I
I
don't
don't know.
think we're gonna
That's
find
all I
out.
got.
I don't think we're gonna get Soul Story until the last episode. So we are not gonna get this episode next week. I think next week we're gonna get more of Vernestra.
I want you to be
Um,
wrong, but you're probably right.
I think we're gonna get more story of Vernestra and what she knows as they're trying to track down Soul now.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that I don't know. I don't think Oshi's gonna turn. I think she may act like she's going to
Yeah. Like just try to fake him out.
fake him out, get more information from him.
Okay.
So I think we're going to see a little bit of that interaction. Yeah. So yeah. So I think we're going to get more story filling next week.
Yeah. And we haven't gotten a whole lot about Vern, so
I think we're going to
probably
get that.
something, right?
I think so. But so check out all our socials at Traveling Bantha.
Yep. Join our Patreon, join our Discord, follow us on all the platforms.
We're totally hashtag Khmer Club.
Hashtag Khmer Club.
Khmer Club with the Q.
Khmer Club.
We're part of the Yord Horde.
Yep. Yord Horde.
We're losing it.
R.I.P. Yord Horde. Yeah, we gotta go.
From our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always. Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo designed by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peak. From our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.